Can men who abuse their partners be taught to respect women? Hi, I'm Simon Dippenau and I'm a family lawyer. The answer is yes. There are programs that aim to do just that. In my family law practice, I unfortunately see far too many cases of domestic and gender-based violence. I've helped many women secure a protection order against the perpetrator and leave abusive relationships. There's no shortage of support for survivors of intimate partner violence, and given its scale in South Africa, it's good to know there are places where women can get help. But what of their abusers? If we remove a woman from a dangerous situation but do nothing to help the perpetrator of violence change his ways, we set another woman up to experience the same abuse. There is no reason to think the next relationship an abuser enters into will be any different. Quite the contrary. With each woman who leaves him, his frustration and anger grows, and he may take it out on the next woman in his life. And many women in abusive relationships don't really want to leave their partners. It's true that some have reached the end of their tether, but many women still love the partner. They just want the violence to stop. Many women, both survivors of intimate partner violence and those who provide services to women, agree that intimate partner violence cannot be eliminated if the focus of interventions is only on women. So, while it may at first seem wrong to target scarce resources at abusers rather than the abused, it is the only way to break the cycle of violence. There are many interventions aimed at boys and young men, intending to educate them in gender equality and socialize them differently from the older generation. This is to be welcomed. But what about the men who are already abusers? The good news is that there are resources available to help abusive men change their behavior. It's not a quick fix or an easy road for either partner. It's not something that can be mandated by a court. Attendance must be voluntary, like stopping smoking. All attempts will ultimately fail unless the person truly wants to stop. It's a demanding and painful journey. Behavioral change requires perpetrators to take full responsibility for their actions, with all the emotional consequences this may bring. Men learn to unpack the worst incidents of abuse and examine their feelings and thoughts at the time. They learn safety strategies and emergency techniques to help them de-escalate tension. They explore the role of gender in abusive relationships and begin to understand what a healthy sexual relationship is. Interventions often include the effect of domestic violence on children, including the impact on their educational attainment and life chances, and their increased risk of suicide, cancer, heart disease, and substance abuse. Men often find this particularly tough, and they may be forced to reflect on their own childhoods, which have often involved abuse, either as direct victims or as a witness to abuse against their mother. A survey of over 1,300 males in Cape Town showed strong links between violent behavior among men and childhood experiences of private violence against their mothers. Those who deliver behavioral change programs for abusive men must always remember they have a duty of care to the adult and child survivors of that abuse. Experts believe that work with perpetrators should only take place in the presence of parallel but separate support for survivors. And because of this, some programs will only take on a perpetrator if their partner agrees to be involved, providing a separate partner support worker. Perpetrators can be manipulative, and it's not unheard of for a man to tell his partner, "The facilitators say it's your fault, you need to do 1, 2, 3. Some men may undertake a rehabilitation program in the hopes of keeping their partner from leaving them, but the partner may leave anyhow. This can be a testing time for a man. If the woman decides to see the process through, she also faces challenges in learning to trust again. Behavior change programs for abusers do work, but commitment has to be total. Participants can be referred by a social worker, or they can self-refer. There are a number of programs in South Africa that provide support and rehabilitation to abusive men. If you'd like more information, please give me a call on 086 099 5146 and I can put you in touch.